Thank you for coming back, PS. So we just got cut off there. I'm informed that you have load shedding in your area. That's why the connection was bad. But you were just talking about the narrative that the ANC Youth League, the leadership, they are more about themselves than they are about the young people generally, and how you are going to change that narrative so that it speaks to what it actually should be.
No, thank you very much. I still remember I was on a point to say we are going to embark on a very massive political induction. I was making an example of a member of Central News who's a worker in the Central News and a supporter of the Central News, to say their conduct is very different. You find out that in the ANC, members of the Youth League are the ones who are saying those things, not even supporters, not even young people who are asking themselves whether can we join the Youth League or whatever. Others are even leaders who are saying that I will say no, the leadership in nationally, it's self inward looking and everything. That's not how a leader behaves. I know how to address the issues that maybe I might not be comfortable with on the national space. And even on the province, regions know their platform to address issues. Even on branches know their platform to address issues. If they are not happy with how the leadership in the region, they are conducting their affairs, and especially to address this thing that you have just asked. That in our case, you'll find that the very same question you are asking, it's been said by people who are leading the Youth League. Whether on the level of the branch, on the region, on the province, then you ask yourself, how did these people end up on leadership position? So those are things that we are finding. But then as a leader, as an ANC Youth League, in conclusion, we have a responsibility to ensure that not only our members that are being developed and are assisted, generally young people in the...
Now, you're going to the 79th anniversary rally of the ANC Youth League in the Free State. What is the theme of that rally, and what are you seeking to address through that theme?
Now, our theme of that rally is very clear. It's what I've told you, that we're moving with the very same theme that was a theme of the national conference, which is the stance of the Youth League currently, the economic freedom and social change. Now, that is our theme in the Youth League that we're moving with. And the reason we chose Gariep is because the issues of the economical issue that are affecting young people and community of Gariep in general. And Gariep is part of Free State. As the ANC Youth League want to make it clear that Gariep is part of Free State. And Gariep cannot be isolated as some sort of a land that is outside Free State. That we need to be biased, our government and us, including our strategy, other strategic private sectors that we're having relation with as the current government, need to be biased on issues of Gariep, need to invest on Gariep, need to create employment on Gariep. I can tell you until to date, we've also learned in Gariep, the reason we're going there, we've also learned that there are other workers that they have not yet received salaries from the municipality. And one of the other things, I think, in one debate that you had with our PC member who was on the very same platform with another MPL of the DA, they raised of other municipalities there in Gariep, the likes of Kopano. And one thing that this comrade, they are not saying, they are not telling the truth. Sometimes municipality to run, and hence if you advertise any post in the municipality, they're asking you, will you able to pay those posts and pay those people? Because you must have revenue is there to deal with issues of payment of our workers and running the municipality. So you cannot say you run the municipality through grant. No, can't run the municipality through grant. But in the formation of these municipalities, Even the national chairperson spoke about this thing, Comrade Gwede, and the deputy president of the ANC was also there in that side of Haripi. In Haripi, you will they are putting together to form a municipality. Then you find yourself, how will that municipality survive in terms of ensuring that there is a revenue that is collected by this municipality, and the municipality is able to function on its own without intervention of provincial or national government on issues of grant. So those are kind of municipalities that we're having that side, that these people, they are not speaking the truth about to say, you are putting together.
But what is the solution for that kind of municipality?
No, solution is to dissolve those municipalities, then form one municipality. Reality is that solution, we must dissolve those municipalities, because there is no use. I think in other areas, if you can say, you can't put rural towns together and say they must form municipality, then you expand that municipality to perform. You are saying it's a municipality. No, we must dissolve those municipalities and form one municipality. So those are other things that they ensure that we deal with this matter. Because even if you check the Harip alone, Harip is not having more than 23. If we're to speak about government, because they are causing what as a district, it's having 23. I think even in Nwathe or Mokaka, it's worse. They have more than what Harip is having alone as a cluster town, J. So hence we say dissolve those surrounding municipality, form one municipality there. That what need to be done
there. Moving from that, I think we touched on it in the beginning of this session. The issue of unemployment. What specific policy positions is the ANC Youth League proposing? In order to deal with the issues of unemployment.
The first one is very clear, my brother, and I think we are speaking to everywhere where we get a platform. This issue of experience, it must be dealt with, because this issue of 3 years experience, 5 years experience, it's a main cause of young people finding themselves on corners of the streets while they're even graduates. This issue is the issue that must be attended.
The ANC has been speaking about that for a long time now. Who has the responsibility?
To say, no, it must be strapped, it must be attended. The current president of the ANC and the country is speaking about this issue. So it's one thing that we need to make a program as the current ANC Youth League to then take this issue head on, so that we see actually who is the person that is not implementing this thing, because it's affecting our constituency. So we need to take this issue head on, and until we find out who's a stumbling block or who's a person that does not want to remove this red tape that called job experience that is affecting our youth, and our youth end up finding themselves on the corners of the street today.
Are you able to elaborate on the ANC Youth League's stance and approach towards the social justice, economic empowerment, and education reform? That is a question that came from one of our viewers here.
Can you repeat the question, Comrade Titi?
They say, could you elaborate on the ANC Youth League stance and approach towards issues of social justice, economic empowerment, and educational reform? I think this will be just a summary of what we've been talking about, basically, me and you, in this session, because you spoke about education, the roles that the ANC Youth League plays in education. But more in particular, they're speaking about the reform of the sector of education itself, economic justice or economic empowerment, and social justice. Do those have any bearing on any policy positions that the ANC League is proposing?
No, I think our policies of the ANC Youth League, especially that we have attended the national conference and are part of our resolution, they address all these matters. And if we speak about reform on the education sector, I think also if you look that we need to some of the other things that we need to deal with that are on the education sector. Titi, are you still there?
I'm here, my brother. I'm here.
Okay. Then issues that we need to address that are that we need to address on reforming the education sector. Actually, I was surprised to learn, as in when I like to do research about these things, all of them. I was surprised to hear that in our school, part of the reason that we're also having young people that found themselves on the street after school not doing anything, and issues of nyaupe and drugs and GBV, we're not having art and culture in our school. I don't know if you know that, Titi, that currently in our education, our high schools, and in our high school, there's no art and culture. It means it ended on our time. Currently, you will not find art and culture as a subject in the school, so that they educate our children about art and culture and other things. So those are other things that we need to speak. But then also the issue
on that discussion here, art and culture, it sounds like it's something that you may be passionate about. I think we must have a dedicated slot where we're going to talk about that. Because if you want to drive maybe generally young people towards arts and culture, you must look at whether or not it will, it will be rewarding for them, to participate in that sector in the Free State in particular. Having regard to what is happening with park-offs, any opportunities of development for that sector in the Free State, is it really there? Maybe you can touch on it just a bit now, but maybe we must have a dedicated slot where we'll also involve practitioners in that particular sector.
No, thank you very much. I think we'll touch on it on another day, but then just to give a chips nyana on the issue, that I will just make an example of one country that it's able to make sure that the contribution of their GDP in terms of economy of that country comes from art and culture, which is Nigeria. So if Nigeria, they can do it, then why Tina's Free State, we can say we cannot do it, and Gauteng, they can do it. Tina, we say we cannot do it. While most of our people that are running who do in Gauteng, even in theaters and everything, there are many things when we speak about art and culture that can contribute in our economy, but then we find our people running to Gauteng and other provinces, your Cape Town, but then we'll address it like you are saying.
Tell me, in your rally now, on the when is the rally?
It's on Friday.
On Friday, in the rally, are you going to have involvement of arts and culture youth groups that are coming from the Free State in that particular rally? Because that's where it must begin. You see? All right. No, it's good to hear.
Then on the issue, I think you also touched, the question was based on economical reform also on the province.
Yes.
You know, there is a clip that I was circulating this morning of a Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Mbalula, speaking about our collapse of historical small businesses that educated yourself and myself. I think that in this country, when some of us were young, especially Tina Batleleng body 90s, and those who are Batleleng the 80s, yeah, the 70s, Marunama 90, we grow up our parents owning tuck shops, others selling plates, others, our fathers cutting hairs then in the taxi rank, and they were able to make a lot of money. And the Secretary General is speaking about that you in South Africa currently, that business alone, Kuru are not even speaking about big things now. Kuru are speaking about basics, our historical business form in our country, that it's owned by foreigners. You arrive in a saloon there is person who can't even, you don't even understand when they speak, they cutting our hair. You arrive in our township, those shops, they're still called tick shop, or Mokwena tuck shop. When you arrive, all of them, water. And by the time they are done addressing the issue of water, your issues of local economic development or agriculture, then we'll have challenges. Now they shift to Zoom. Their department. We don't need leadership that is one-sided in terms of thinking and planning. We need leadership that there will be someone that deal with this one. And surprisingly, we're having departments. Like now, there was issue of, to justify my statement, there was issue of COVID. Tell me who was not a mayor or minister or MEC that was not focusing on COVID, but we have an MEC of health, you have a minister of health, but everyone GD, health, COVID, mask, what. No, we address that issue. Then other ones call up the issues of infrastructure. Now we're having issues of electricity that collapse because everyone should focusing on one thing that you are not even employed to do that thing. So even if everyone can focus on its department and ensuring that there is system and they deal with system, because what we are dealing with also, TT, if you are aware, I want you to take the system that we got since after 1994 in our local municipalities and provincial government in terms of regulation and requirements of everything, and compare them to until to date, to say what is it that changed. You will find that not more than 5% change in terms of requirement and all of those systems. That must be lenient and be able to address Black people challenges, and be ease to our people. But you'll find that those systems they are there, and those systems they were there to install by the post-apartheid government to ensure that they sideline us. You know, when I was at home this morning, I was thinking something to say, how many political parties are contesting in South Africa currently? It's more than 50 to 100. Post-apartheid, how many were contesting?
It wasn't a lot, there was repression.
Yeah, no, because yes, South Africa, even tomorrow you can wake up and open a political party. Restriction to say, for one to do this must be 1 and 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Those issues that we address, the issues of tax shops and your saloon, they must be made strictly that there is no one that will be allowed that is outside South Africa that will own that kind of a business. It must be part of our law.
Have a deliberate program to deal with those kind of issues, because it's one thing talking about it, but doing something about it is another. You know, it does. And you know, the MEC of economic development, the department responsible for economic development in the Free State, was once the chairperson of the ANC Youth League in the Free State. I'm sure, therefore, your relations with that kind of deployee in government must be easy, because you come from a same school of politics, the ANC Youth League. Do you have a deliberate program to deal with economic development? Because I would guess in the education sector, you've got an Ali there who's helping you deal with education issues. But in the economic sector, what exactly are you doing?
No, thank you very much, Titi. Titi, I think you are correct by mentioning the predecessor, actually the former MEC of this year there. He was attending this issue head on. He was taking it head on, ensuring that local economy, especially what we spoke about, that need to be owned by people of South Africa. And he was even attending to ensure that they are not selling expired goods there. And I think there was one mayor in the Free State, in Tsolopele, which is also a former leader of the Youth League, Comrade Kinalemam Pukunzi. He was also in hot water trying to address this issue. You know, sometimes when our deployees and our comrades who are deployed in government try to address this issue, Tina, very same ones, the mayor was arrested there for trying to close a shop of foreign people who were selling even expiring goods there. The very same comrades saw an opportunity for them to lead. Then they say, no, the mayor must be placed on step aside. Attacking, writing about it.
Can we wrap it up, Comrade, Provincial Secretary of the ANC Youth League? Because I think we'll also have, we'll struggle with load shedding.
That we spoke about. But then mostly those who will not be attending, I will also apologize to your media there, because they have not received any invitation directly. I'll be in the office now. I'm driving to Bloemfontein immediately after this interview. I'll be stationed that side until Friday. So we'll speak with all media platforms so that they're able to come there and stream live and apologize and see what is it that we can do for them to arrive that side as the Youth League.
Thank you very much, PS. We have had a very insightful and informative engagement. I'm looking forward to that discussion about the arts and culture sector with some representatives in that sector so that, we can better equip ourselves as the Free State and young people here. Thank you very much. Good luck with the rally on Friday.
No, thank you very much, Titi. We're in Kharib and starting from today until Friday. So that town will be yellow with ANC and the youth league leaders being there. We're sleeping there direct.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Thank you. Out.
Sharp.